Hi everyone, it's Billy. This is about 30 minutes of fairly gentle yoga practice for something to do every day would be fine. Yeah. So let's just start as we mean to go on. Come and find a nice comfortable seat. Feel the support of the earth in the sit bones. Imagine a bit of length into the spine, maybe putting a bit of a gentle curve back into the lumbar spine. Lift your heart. Lengthen the back of the neck. Close down the eyes if you're comfortable to. Drop into your body, fully inhabit the body. All its sensations and all its sensory input. And then bring your awareness to your breath. And as a yoga teacher, when you say that to a studio full of people, immediately you see this rise and fall of the belly start to occur. And we think, oh yeah, I'm breathing. But when we breathe, as soon as we breathe with our awareness, everything changes. We're aware of our autonomic functions and they smoothen, deepen, and lengthen. The breath is really a magical gateway to the body's inner workings and a wonderful way to calm the mind. So as we drop into the breath, perhaps take your attention to the tip of your nose and just feel the breath come in and out of the nostrils. Anchoring your attention here. And the other beauty of the breath is it's always happening right now. So it's not something to lament that's occurred in the past, and it's not something to have anxiety or worry about that's going to happen. The breath is happening now. And if you're breathing, really everything else is quite secondary things to worry about. So come to the breath. Be still for another few rounds. Keep that elegant tall posture. Let any tension just fall into the earth. Unclench any gripping in the hands. Unclench the jaw if there's anything there. Soften the brow. Be with the body and the breath at ease. Okay, so we'll start to move. On an exhale, you can blink your eyes open. Take your hands out beside you on the mat. Turn your palms outwards. Keep sitting up tall. And then on an inhalation, float your hands up. Point them up. And on an exhalation, push them down the front together. Take them out again. Turn the palms out. Inhalation floats the palms up, hands up. Exhalation pushes down, creating a bit of resistance like you're pushing through honey. And again, hands out, float them up like there are strings in your wrists and you're doing no work. And then exhalation, push down the front. A couple more with your own breath, your own body's rhythm. Initiating the movement with the breath. Feel it out as energy. And then when you're done on your second round, just come and rest with upturned palms, waiting for anybody who's still coming. Feel into your palms. Feel any aliveness or tingling in the palms. Breathe into the belly again. Okay, this time, inhale your hands up in front of you. Pause at the top. Feel rising from the sit bones and really reach up into the fingertips. Reach a little taller, open the armpits. Now we're going to twist. So listen, right hand to left knee, left hand comes around behind you on the mat and twist. So just breathing into the belly, lifting the heart. Shoulders come down, away from the ears. Turn your gaze behind you and breathe. Exhale brings you out of the twist. Leave the right hand where it is. Wrap the left one over the top. Lift your arms up in front of you. Cross the elbows and hug it out. So squeezing in, walking those fingertips around behind the shoulder blades, and then give yourself a squeeze like a teenager in front of the mirror. Squeeze the arms, squeeze the pecs, squeeze the shoulders. Try and lift your elbows. Give it another squeeze and then let that hug gently drop away. Give the shoulders a bit of a roll, however it feels good and intuitive to do so. Bring your hands to your knees and let's do a few rounds of seated cat-cow. So inhale is lift the heart, arch the spine, and exhale is chin to chest, round the spine. Off we go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. A couple more with your own breath and your own body's rhythm. It's your practice, nobody else's. And on your next round, come and sit in a neutral position. Now a side stretch. So let's take our left hand out beside us on the mat on our fingertips. Inhalation sweeps the right arm up. Reach up. And then start to fold over to the left side, maybe tiptoeing the fingers out a little bit, maybe bending into the left elbow. Keep those sit bones rooted down. Breathe into the right side of the body so you can surrender more into the left. Keep the chest open. Soften the neck. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Always the breath. Turn that top palm over. Inhale your way back up to center. Roll your shoulders out for a moment. And a little challenge before we do all that on the other side. Hands to heart center. And swap the crossing of your legs without using your hands. And it'll feel a bit different. Okay, let's do the other side. Inhalation, hands up, hands high. Pause at the top. Really straighten the arms, really reach into the fingertips. Breathe into the belly. And left hand comes to right knee. Right hand round behind you on the mat. Lift your heart and twist. Breathing into the belly. Heart is lifting. Shoulders back and down. Take your gaze around behind you. Breathe. One more breath, then exhale out of the twist. Left hand stays where it is, right hand wipes over the top. Inhale, lift the arms, cross at the elbows, and hug it out on this side. Walk those fingertips round behind you. Squeeze the arms, squeeze the pecs, squeeze the shoulders, smooch it out. Lift the elbows and keep squeezing. Then just let that hug drip away, nice and steadily. Roll your shoulders however it feels good to do so. Hands to knees. And let's move through a couple rounds of seated cat-cow. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift the heart, arch the spine. Exhale, round the spine. Come back to neutral. Let's take a side stretch. Right fingertips to the mat beside you. Inhale, lifting left arm. Reaching up, and then tiptoeing those right fingers out. Either staying with a straight arm or bend into it. Breathe into the left side of the body, surrender into the right. Crack that left shoulder back, soften the neck. Enjoy a breath or two. Turn that top palm around. Inhale your way back up to center. Give your shoulders another roll out. And all we're going to do is roll over our ankles and come to tabletop. Okay, here we are. Hips above knees, knees hip distance apart. Give your fingers a really good spread on the mat. Push the floor away, open the space between the shoulder blades. Tuck your toes under and then press into your heels and come up to downward facing dog. So we're pushing out through the arms. Our heels might be lifted, our knees might be bent, but our arms are straightish and we're lifting our sit bones high. Feet hip distance, hands shoulder distance. Pedal that dog out. So just bend into one knee then the other, easing out those creaks and groans, soothing the body. Come and find a bit of stillness. Inhale up on your toes, bend your knees, push out through the arms, sit bones high, look between your hands, and just pop down on your knees. Hands are a bit forwards, see, like this. Now, come down to the mat with control and stick your bottom up in the air for this round. Stick it high in the air, open your hands on the mat. Then pop down to the mat. Extend your toes out behind you long. Really extend out the toes long. And now keep some weight in your hands and pop up for a little cobra. Shine the heart forwards. Breathe into the belly. Elbows in tight, lengthening the back of the neck. Take another breath and then exhale, lower down to the mat. And push back to child's pose. So bum comes back to heels and settle down to the mat. Reaching out in front of you. Inhalation brings you back up to all fours. Tuck your toes under and come up to downward facing dog again. Take a couple of breaths and walk that dog out. I remember when this used to be agony, so if you're new to yoga, don't despair, progress comes quickly. Okay, up on your toes, bend your knees, sit bones high, look between your hands, and come down on your knees again. Come down to the mat, stick your bottom up in the air, squeeze your back muscles and then pop all the way down to the mat. Extend out through your toes. This time, hover your hands, lift your torso, breathe into the belly, extend out through the toes again, elbows in tight. Switch those back muscles on, it's really good for them. Squeeze everything. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Tuck your toes under, bottom back to heels. Rest in child's pose for a minute. Then come back up to all fours and back up to down dog. We're going to do that one more time, but we're going to pep things up a little bit. So, Up on your toes, bend your knees, sit bones high. Come forwards to full plank this time. If it's too strong, knees can stay down. Push the floor away, gather the tailbone under, energize the legs, and then if it's there for you, either knees, chest, chin, or come down to the mat chest first with control. Untuck the toes, point out through them. Inhale, up for another cobra. Weight in the hands, elbows in tight. Shine the heart forwards. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Press your bottom back to your heels and up to down dog. Walk it out for a second and then just walk up the mat. Landing in a forward fold. Feet hip distance apart, feet parallel. See, this deep bend in the knees gives me a connection of torso to thighs. So if you looked forward and took your arms, you'd be like a skier going downhill. That's the position we're looking for. Let the head be heavy and let the spine fall down. Either grab opposite arms or let them dangle to the mat. Breathe into the belly. Try lift the toes and spread them. Pop them back down. Inhale, hands to shins. Pop up to halfway lift. Press hands into shins. Straighten the spine. Curl your tailbone a little bit higher towards the ceiling. And then exhale, fold back down. This time, just peel your way up to standing, stacking one vertebra on top of the other. Peel your way up to standing. Come to the top of your mat. Take a few swings. Just to nourish the spine, nourish the body, make sure you're not dizzy. This is an essential Taoist tantric practice, these swings where the arms whack against the body. It's super good for you. That's another whole story. Okay, let's move through some gentle sun salutations. So top of the mat. And let's go. Inhale, hands up, hands high. Exhale, fold to the earth. Inhale, step back right leg to a runner's lunge. Squeeze that back leg, look forwards, lower the back knee down. Melt the hips forwards and down. Even if they're a bit grumbly, have a word with them. Down they come. Keep them forwards and down, and come find your balance with your hands propped on your front knee. Squeeze that right glute. Give it a squeeze and pull the thighs into the midline of the body. The support here should give you a bit of a lift of the heart. Breathe into the belly again. If you've got your balance, let go, bring your hands up to cactus. Keep the legs squeezing, keep the thighs squeezing, open the hands, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then exhalation, hands come to the mat. Pick up the back knee, press firmly into the mat, and step it back to down dog. I know. Walk it out and have a breath. Inhale, come forwards, either to knees down or to full plank, it's up to you. Push the floor away, get strong, energize the legs, and either come down knees, chest, chin, or one straight line to the mat with control. Untuck the toes, push out through them. Inhale, up for cobra. Elbows in, shine the heart. Exhale, back down to the mat. Bum back to heels, up to down dog. Pedal it out, have a breath. Inhale, lift your right leg. Come up on the toes of the standing foot to give yourself space, and then exhale, steps that foot up between the hands. If it only got so far, help it out. We all need a little help. It's important that it ends up between the hands. Look forwards, runner's lunge, squeeze the legs, squeeze the left glute this time. Exhale, steps up to forward fold. And then just peel yourself up. Come up to stand, have a couple of swings. And we'll do the other side. So, inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale is step back with the left leg. Land in runner's lunge. Squeeze the back leg straight if you can. Looking forwards, heart comes forwards. Then lower that back knee down to the mat. Melt those hips forwards and down. Have another word with them. Melt them forwards and down. Pop it up to hands on the front knee. Keep the hips coming forwards and down. Squeeze the left glute this time. Give it a good old squeeze. Squeeze the thighs into the midline of the body. Keep all that going on. Lift your heart a little bit. Breathe into the belly. Cactus the arms. Open the heart. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open the hands. And then exhale. Hands come back to the mat. Pick up the back knee. Press into the mat. And back to down dog. Walk it out and have a little pedal. Inhalation brings you forward to plank or half plank if you need your knees down. Get strong and now come all the way down to the mat with control. All the way down. Prop yourself up on your forearms for a little alligator pose. Inhale, lift just the right leg. Really straighten that leg. Really push out through the toes. Push the right hip into the mat. Twinkle your toes. Pop it down. Inhale, lift left leg. Really lift that, like straighten that left leg, point out through the toes, press the left hip into the mat, twinkle your toes and spread them, and pop it down. Lower your torso down, bum back to heels, and back up to down dog. Have a breath, walk it out. Okay. Inhale is lift left leg, come up on the toes of the standing foot, give yourself space, and then step it up between your hands. Look forward, squeeze that back leg straight. Look, like bring your heart forwards a bit. Then on exhale, step up to forward fold. Fold it down, fold it down. And then just peel your way up to stand. And take a couple of swings again. And before we close everything down, let's just have a little bit of a balance. So swing it all out. Swing it all out. Let the swings abate. Come to feet hip distance apart. A comfortable balance pose. And hands to heart center. Let the breath come nice and smooth. Breath and balance are inextricably linked. Tree pose. So, hands to hips. Take your weight into your left foot. Peel the heel and then the toes of the right foot off the mat. Lift the knee up in front of you. Whoop, it's a balance. Options: low tree, medium tree, or high tree. Get the heel up to the groin, push the foot into the leg, push the leg into the foot, not on the knee joint, that's all. Turn the knee out to the side, rigidity in the legs. The harder you can push the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot, the better. Don't think about it. Grow your tree. Concentration, yes. Thinking, no, doesn't help. Hands back. Release the knee back out in front of you and pop it back down to the mat. Recenter your weight. Find your balance. Second side. Hands to hips. Weight in the right foot. Peel the heel and the toes of the left off the mat. Lift the knee up in front. Options: low tree, medium tree, or high tree. Pull that heel into the groin. Push the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. The stronger that goes, the better. Squeeze the knee out to the side. Option to grow your tree. Push it all, lift it all. Hands back to heart center. Release the knee back out in front of you. Pop it down. Thinking is no aid. Concentration is key. Thinking not so much. See how you went with that. Trust me, balance comes very quickly. If you practice it again, like a couple of times, it comes really quickly. Now, take your feet with like a little wider and aim your toes outwards. Imagining that some nasty yoga teacher was going to ask you to come down and squat. Lift your arms and imagine you're holding something nice and heavy and full of cold water so that you concentrate. Keep your spine straight. And I'm not going to torture you. You might need to adjust your feet. Just start to lower down. Lower down. Lower down. Keep the spine straight. Keep it all coming down and come to a squat. Some of us have heels lifted, some have heels down. Try pull the feet towards it, heels towards each other on the mat. It'll give you a lot of strength. Squeeze the glutes, pelvic floor, straighten the spine. Have a bit of a sunny disposition about you. And now either using no hands or hands, come down to the mat with control. Crash, just like that. And come sit up like this. Pull on the knees to lift the heart. Breathe into the belly. Exhalation draws the navel in a little more than it normally would. These are very strong core exercise, just sitting up tall and breathing. Who knew that posture and breath would be so good for us, hey? We can visit it any time during the day. If you want a little more action, rock back on your sit bones. Keep breathing, support those legs, lift your heart, lift your knees. Option to remove the support and extend the fingertips towards the floor, towards the front. Only if you're breathing. Check that you are. Option to support the legs and straighten them if you are breathing. A little tremble is good, rabbit trembles, as we call them. And then lower it all down. And lower down to the mat with control. Arms out nice and wide. Draw the knees into the chest. On an exhale, just drop them over to the right. Weigh them down with the right hand. Breathe in the twist. Extend out through the left fingertips. Let it go. Inhale back up to center. Exhale drops it to the other side. Option to have left hand come to knees. Breathe into the belly. Reach out through the right fingers. Let the breath go. Inhale back up to center. Take your feet to the floor and make Shavasana. Corpse pose, just lie on your back. Traditionally, feet fall out, palms turned upwards, down beside the body, but just away from it. Okay, you stay there and get comfortable. I'm going to come sit up and watch over you to make sure that the kids, dog, and partner don't come and disturb you. So, get nice and comfortable and heavy on the mat. Let the body be heavy on the mat. Feel the whole body all at once. Deeply feel the body. So not think about the body as as a collection of anatomical components, but what can you currently feel? Feel that. Feel the breath come into the body and feel the breath leave the body. Feel the breath come into the body. Feel the breath leave the body. Scan your awareness of your body and see if there's anything that you can let go of in the way of tension. So if there's anything at all that you're done with, just let it fall into the earth. Soften and relax. And to bring your attention to the whole body all at once, try and imagine that you're breathing in through every pore of the skin and out through every pore of the skin. It's not as crazy as it sounds because actually you're already doing that. So in through every pore of the skin, out through every pore of the skin. Feel the body has energy at ease. Okay. If you've got the opportunity to stay in Shavasana for another 5, 10, or 20 minutes, I strongly encourage you to do so. Conscious rest is far better than just crashing out at the end of the day because you're stuffed. So stay here by all means. But if you've got to come out now, I'll talk you out of it. So draw a couple of deeper breaths into the belly and start to wriggle your fingers and toes. When you're ready to take a big old body stretch, just extend the body out in every direction. Reach up above, extend out. And then if you want to draw your knees into the chest and hug it out again, give yourself a bit of love. Give yourself a bit of love, and then there are ways to come back up to sitting. So either roll over to one side and push up to sitting, or just rock and roll your way up to sit. You take a moment, and then when you've come back to sit, sit up tall, and we'll just check out like we checked in. Hands to heart center. Use an inhalation to come sit up tall, lengthen the spine. Feel the breath come in and out of the body effortlessly and smoothly. And then let's just take a little bow to honor each other and honor our practice. Namaste, which just translates as the light in me recognizes the light within you. So namaste. Hopefully this soothes you and brings you to a bit of calm in these challenging times and leads to more yoga practice. Big love. Have a good one.